Hi. In this video, we provide an introduction to functions in Excel.
Previously, we learned about Excel formulas. So, a Excel function is actually a predefined formula. These are formulas that have been programmed into Excel, and we can use these to carry out different calculations. So, as of now, in the Excel 365 version, there's more than 500 functions that are built into the application. To use functions, you need to understand about the different parts of a function and how to create arguments. So let's look at parts of a function. So when you start typing a function, you have to follow the rules, which is called the syntax. Syntax is like grammar. So basically, when you write a function, you need to follow the rules that apply to that function or the syntax. So always a function starts with a equal sign. Then you write the function's name. So in this case, we have example of a sum function. Sum function basically sums all the values in the range that you're giving inside the arguments. So arguments are basically the inputs that you give into the function. So arguments are the information the function needs to calculate the result. Some functions have one argument, others can have multiple arguments. So here in this function, what happens is the sum function basically sums, as I said, and it will sum all the values in this range given in the argument as A1 to A10. So all the values that are contained in these cells from A1 to A10 will be added together, and the result will be shown when we use this function. As I said, always arguments are contained within the parentheses or the brackets. And when you want to separate different arguments, you can use the comma. For here, for example, we have used a comma to separate the first set of arguments, the cell range A1 to A3, and then C1 to C2 is the second argument, and then we have used another separating comma to separate it from the last argument, which is E1. So this will basically add all the values from A1 to A3, C1 to C2, and E1. So let's look at some examples. If we want to add up all of these values over here, we can write a formula here, starting with the equal sign, and then we need to use the sum function, S, and we can start typing. And as you can see, Excel's IntelliSense tries to help you out with the function name. It gives a list of function names that starts with S. So you can select one of these or search down, or you can type SU and then M. And you see, you have found the function that you need. Sum function is there. So whenever you have expect sign in front, that means it's a inbuilt function in Excel. So if you want to select this function, you need to press the tab key. So after pressing the tab key, the open bracket comes, or the open parenthesis. Then you can see inside you need number 1, number 2, like that. These are the arguments. So we can give this range starting from D3 to D7 as the function argument or the inputs. Then we need to close the bracket or the parenthesis like this, and I will press enter key. And I get the final total of all of these cells, 495. So you can check this. If you do it separately using a formula, you can add this manually as well. And you get the same result. So this sum function is a easy way for you to add a range of values in different cells rather than using a formula using first principles like this. We can also use multiple arguments, as I said, separated by a comma in a function. So if I want to sum these values, I can use several different ways. I can write sum first, tab key, and maybe I can select these cells first. And remember to separate, I need to put a comma, and then I give the second set of inputs or the arguments, these two cells, and then the final cell I can give like this. Then I can close the bracket and press enter. So 135 is the total. You can also write the formula in a different way. You can write SUM, and maybe you can select these cells first, put a comma, then these two cells, and finally this cell. And close the bracket, press enter. So this is an example of a way to use a basic function called sum function. We will get into more advanced functions in the following lessons. Excel has different ways for you to insert functions. One way is next to the formula bar, you can see this fx sign. So this is basically the insert function command, fx. You can press that and it will open a window like this. And here you can search for a function. And also you can select category. Like different function categories are there: financial, date, statistical, database, so on, logical. So you can either select like that, or you can select some of these functions that are already there. And here it says selected the sum function, auto selected. So it says, has a bit of a help here as well. It says it adds all the numbers in a range of cells and it gives the syntax as well. So sum, open bracket, number 1, comma, number 2. So those are the arguments. You can also get help on a function by clicking on this link here. It will take you to your web help. So this will basically take you to the help files. So it has a video on the sum function and you can read about the, and here you can see how to use the function. Also you can, if you know the name of the function, you can start searching over here. You can type min and say go, and it gives a list of functions starting with min, and this is the function that you need to use. So you can get help from here and see the syntax and what the minimum function is used for. You can also go to the formulas tab and then go to function library. And here also you see the insert function option is there, like what you have here. And also you have different functions that you can use. The sum function, those are already predefined here. And you see recently used functions. Then you have functions that in the library categorized into financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup and reference, math and trigonometry, and more functions. You can search for functions from here and get help and insert functions from here as well.
Thanks for watching.